It's now time for the Mike Wagner Show, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. The Mike Wagner Show can be heard on Spreaker, Spotify, iHeartRadio, YouTube, iTunes, Anchor FM, Radio Public, and the MikeWagnerShow.com. Mike brings you great guests and interesting people from all across the globe. So sit back, relax, and enjoy another great episode of the Mike Wagner Show.
Hey everybody, it's Mike from the Mike Wagner Show, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. Look at a professional website without breaking your budget. Sonic Web Studios is the answer. Sonic Web Studios offers fast, affordable custom web designs that blow the competition away. Call today at 1-800-303-3960. That's 1-800-303-3960. Or email to support at sonicwebstudios.com. Mention the Mike Wagner Show. Get 10% off your first order. Sonic Web Studios. Take your image to the next level. Also, the Mike Wagner Show can be heard on the MikeWagnerShow.com. You can check our Facebook page at Facebook.com/The Mike Wagner Show. You can download and listen on Facebook, SoundCloud, Spreaker, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. Also on Anchor FM, Radio Public, iTunes, Google Play, Apple, Stitcher, Deezer, and more. Take the Mike Wagner Show with you on any mobile device. Subscribe to the Mike Wagner Show on the YouTube channel. Also follow the Mike Wagner Show on Instagram and Twitter today. We're here with a wonderful songwriter, musician, and also you can consider him a singer in a sense. He was born and raised in the Ottawa and Toronto area. He's also had a debut album called Lifting the Curse. We'll play one of the tracks later on as well, too. And he also joined last year Mississippi Muds theater group as a guitarist for Queens We Will Rock You. He's toured with a number of bands, involved in quite a number of projects, shared the stage, and also a very interesting story that happened along the way as well, too. We'll talk about that. But right now, live, ladies and gentlemen, from beautiful California, the next superstar of the guitar, Darren Michael Boyd. Darren, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Thanks for joining us today.
Hey, Mike. Yeah, it's evening here. Evening in Canada, so it's cold and dark right now.
But yeah, good hockey weather. I gotta say that. So,
well, I suppose, it's a Canadian thing, right?
Right, exactly. Yeah. So you have a debut instrumental album called Lifting the Curse, and it's a really unique one, a form of therapy to move forward after a life-altering car accident and the physical and psychological complications that followed. And, of course, you also joined the Mississippi Muds back in 2019 to play guitar for a sold-out run at Queens We Will Rock You. You toured with a variety of artists. You invited multiple occasions to privately audition, you receive the scholarship, and share the stage. I mean, you just have a fantastic resume of what you've done as well, too. And before we get to all that, tell us how I got started.
Oh, how it got started?
Correct, yes.
The album or everything?
Your career, how you got started.
Well, it really started kind of when I was about 7. I mean, I didn't start really playing guitar until I was probably about 16, but I was about 7 years old and got my first Kiss and Alice Cooper records. And that just kind of changed my life. You know, I saw Kiss on the Paul Lynde Halloween special, and that was like the Beatles' Ed Sullivan for most people. For me, that was what that was. You know, it was like, I couldn't believe I was staying up really late to watch this. My parents let me. And, because they knew I had the Destroyer record was up on my wall. And, so they let me stay up to watch that. I begged them. And, it just changed my life. And so, my love for music has been all kinds of art. It's not just the hard rock or the theatrical stuff, but that's kind of where I started. Took drum lessons for a few years, and then eventually I just kind of shifted over to guitar, and that's kind of my main language now, my main instrument. And it's kind of a means to an end. I like to write songs one way or another, and whatever instrument I have to learn to make it happen is how I do it. So,
And who are some of your favorite artists, singers, and guitarists growing up?
Oh, growing up, geez. I can't. Oh, wow! There's a huge list. Obviously, guys like Eddie Van Halen and Randy Rhoads. You know, those are the guitar heroes, guitar gods. You know, but even ones that I mean, people like Angus Young or Slash or Mick Mars, these guys are the guys who, made a lot of people pick up the guitar and want to play. And so as far as guitar players go, I mean, it's easy to impress guitar players because everybody seems better than them. So everybody I listen to, I go, wow, that's cool, because they're playing something different than I would do. So Paul Gilbert is probably one of my biggest heroes, because he's such a good guy, such a good teacher. And, obviously the skill is through the roof. So yeah, Paul Gilbert is currently and has been for the longest time my favorite guitar player, and a good singer. People don't know this. He was in Mr. Big, right? But he does a lot of great vocal albums too. So that's pretty cool. I wish I could sing like that. I told him that myself, and he's like, "Oh, people tolerate my singing. They want to hear the guitar playing." And I'm like, "No, man. If I could sing like that, I'd never shut up. I think he has a great voice." But yeah, I like all kinds of music, but a lot of what I grew up on, it's not really metal, it's more like Cheap Trick and I'm trying to think. I always think of Canadian bands for some reason, like April Wine and that kind of thing. Mm-hmm. I don't even, do you guys even know? Yeah, and even stuff like Meatloaf, anything that was just really heartfelt and creative, I really enjoyed.
That sounds like an amazing list as well, too. Of course, I could think of Rush, Triumph, Saga, and just quite a few others as well, too. It's like you're like
Canadian. Yes.
And of course, April Wine, too. That's a big one up by where I live as well, too. That's a huge favorite.
Yeah, and I mean, great, again, vocals, great guitar playing, and great songs. I mean, ultimately, that's where it all comes down to, right? You can be a great guitar player on YouTube or something like that, and that's fine. But music should be about connecting to people and relatability, and I think that's where the songs come in. And there are a lot of great guitar heroes that are technically amazing, but the ones that we're going to remember 30 years from now are the guys like Eddie Van Halen, because he wrote so many hit songs, so many great tunes.
Mm-hmm. And how would you describe your sound?
Oh, there's a good question. It's all of those artists we talked about and more, I think. And that's not to really compare me to anybody. I think it's just, we're kind of a product of, any artist, a product of what we're exposed to. And when I think of what's on this particular CD, there are all kinds of things. Like I hear Prince and I hear B-52s and things that you'd go, really? But yeah, because they influence me. Maybe not to learn how to play their songs necessarily. Well, Prince, everybody wants to play Prince songs, but I think it's just the things you hear kind of seep into your creativity. Mm-hmm. And that's great as long as you're not plagiarizing, then it's fantastic. Yeah.
And I think that's very important not to plagiarize as well, too. It's basically have your own sound. And we'll also play one of your selections in just a minute from your debut album, Lifting the Curse. But first, listen to The Mike Wagner Show at themikewagnershow.com, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. Look at a professional website without breaking your budget. Sonic Web Studios is the answer. Sonic Web Studios offers fast, affordable custom web designs at below the competition way. Call today at 1-800-303-3960. That's 1-800-303-3960, or email to support@sonicwebstudios.com. Mention the Mike Wagner Show, get 10% off your first order. Sonic Web Studios, take your image to the next level. Also, the Mike Wagner Show can be heard on themikewagnershow.com. You can check our Facebook page at facebook.com/the Mike Wagner Show. You can download and listen on Facebook, SoundCloud, Spreaker, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. Also on Anchor FM, Radio Public, iTunes, Google Play, Apple, and more. Take the Mike Wagner Show with you on any mobile device. Subscribe to the Mike Wagner Show on the YouTube channel. Also follow the Mike Wagner Show on Instagram and Twitter today. We're here with songwriter and musician guitarist Darren Michael Boyd out of the Ottawa and Toronto area, just growing up in that region as well, too. And there was something I was just thinking about. What was it like for you being growing up in Ottawa, then moving on to Toronto? What was it like over there?
Well, it's almost reversed. I lived in Toronto when I was younger, and then moved to the Ottawa area, which I spent most of my time. I moved to Florida for a little while, which would be nice right now, actually. So I have one of my bands that I play with called Famous Underground is in Toronto, so I do commute sometimes for that. And you might know. Did you say you grew up in Toronto as well, or?
Oh no! Actually, I've got friends that live in Toronto, but actually, where I'm at is up in Bismarck, North Dakota. I grew up in the Midwest, born in Milwaukee, raised in Racine, and lived in Chicago and went to South Illinois for a little bit. So, yeah, so it's okay. I've got some friends that live in that Ottawa and Toronto area, and I had someone from Detroit was asking me to come on out and make a living over in Windsor as well, too, just hop on over to the other side. So that's going to be like a really big area. So that was just, we were just talking about that. Yes, so.
Yeah, and where I am, I'm actually only, I'd say about maybe 25 minutes from the U.S. border, actually. So I'm sort of in between Ottawa and Toronto.
Okay.
Closer to Ottawa.
Okay. All right. Well, I hope you come to the United States and play for us soon as well, too. And, of course, back in 2019, you joined the Mississippi Mud Theater Group as guitarist for Queen's We Will Rock You. Tell us a little more about that.
Well, I was just asked to do it. It was a mutual friend that was involved in the group had mentioned to the producer of the show that if they needed a guitar player to do Brian May stuff, that I would be into it, and I was into it. So when I was asked to do it, I was like, there was no hesitation, no second thought. It was like, yes, it's it, because it's a great challenge. I mean, Brian May is just a monster guitar player, and the whole band are songwriters. So each one of these songs come from a totally different approach. And the funny thing was, of course, the first thing that happens when you do a theater group or something like that is they drop some sheet music in front of you. And I'm not much of a sight reader, unfortunately, but I spent a lot of time listening to that stuff, listening to the cast recordings. And it was such a great experience doing it, though, because there are about 60 people involved in the whole group. And I've never worked with a group that large of people on something so creative. And there was nobody was ever bummed out. There was no drama. It was just, except for on the stage. That's where the drama is. But
and that's where it's supposed to be. It belongs there.
Exactly. Yeah, put it on the stage. But behind the scenes it was like a family, and I want to do this again, hopefully with the same group. But I'm open to doing it, with other groups as well. But this one, I miss everybody. It seems like you start to get close and really have a great time, and then it's over. And I guess you hear that with people who work on movies and stuff too. Mm-hmm. You get close to people and then you move on. And but it was a really good experience and a good challenge too, because learning those songs. It was a little bit of effort there, but I loved it. I loved every minute of it.
And, of course, the group won the Ottawa Faces Magazine Award for Favorite Theater Group of the Year, and that would be like a big honor for you guys. Yeah,
well, and I can't even take any credit for that. I'm just happy that everybody involved, they're so well-deserved. They work really hard and they're very professional. I was happy to be involved at all, so I'm more proud of them. But still, I felt really good though to be that was the year that I was involved in it. So hopefully this year too. I'm hoping.
Well, that'd be great if you're going to keep us up to date on that. You also share the stage with One Eyed Doll, Wednesday 13, Ingwe Malmsteen, one of my favorite guitarists, Striper, Harum Scarum, Biso Blanco, Lee Aaron, and also you toured with Black Juju, Creeping Beauty, Famous Underground, and what's it like, playing with these guys on stage? And who's your favorite?
I think, that's really hard to say. I love One Eyed Doll. I think doing what I do, this particular album, if I were to get the live aspect of it going, I think that would be a band that would be cool to tour with. Because they're really good people and the songs are great, and their fans, I think, would get it. And I think that's important. I remember. I don't know if I saw it or read it or whatever. There was an interview with Wednesday 13 where he was talking about how he did his first run of dates with Alice Cooper. And he just automatically assumed, because he was such a big Alice Cooper fan and so influenced, that naturally all of Alice Cooper's fans would just be his fans. And he said something along the lines of how he couldn't have been more wrong. And because you think about it, you go, oh yeah, it makes total sense. Mm-hmm. But it doesn't always work that way. And I've often thought, if I went out and I toured for this type of music, especially being instrumental and kind of odd, it's like, I don't know where it sits, I'm not sure where I would belong. So I'm open to a lot of ideas.
Mm-hmm. He also write to ask songs for Alice Cooper, since we're on that subject, for his daughter Calico, and tell us about that and what's it like working with Alice Cooper along those lines, especially with his daughter.
Well, it's Visto Blanco, which is Chuck Garrick, and which is Alice's longtime bass player, and Calico is Alice's daughter. They have a band called Visto Blanco, and before the band even had a name, Chuck and I were sending ideas back and forth, and he had asked me to write some songs for the band. And as of now, they haven't actually recorded any of my songs, but we've been working on it for quite some time. So I really hope. Last time I had a song that I was like, this is the signature Calico song, and they loved it, but they were finished the album. So it was just bad timing. So I'm hoping that we can get something happening there, because they're really good people. And the show, if you get a chance to see Visto Blanco, definitely go and see them. It's a great show.
We'll definitely keep that in mind, too. And also, we'll talk about your debut album, Lifting the Curse, and we'll play one of your tracks. But first, listen to The Mike Wagner Show at themikewagnershow.com, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. Look at a professional website without breaking your budget. Sonic Web Studios is the answer. Sonic Web Studios offers fast, affordable custom web designs that blow the competition away. Call today at 1-800-303-3960. That's 1-800-303-3960. Or email to support@sonicwebstudios.com. Mention the Mike Wagner Show. Get 10% off your first order. Sonic Web Studios. Take your image to the next level. Also, the Mike Wagner Show can be heard on themikewagnershow.com. You can check our Facebook page at facebook.com/The Mike Wagner Show. You can download and listen on Facebook, SoundCloud, Spreaker, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. Also on Anchor FM, Radio Public, iTunes, Google Play, Deezer, Stitcher, and more. Take the Mike Wagner Show with you on any mobile device. Subscribe to the Mike Wagner Show on the YouTube channel. Also follow the Mike Wagner Show on Instagram and Twitter today. We're here with songwriter musician Darren Michael Boyd, guitarist out of the Toronto and Ottawa areas, here on the Mike Wagner Show. And we talked about his career for a little bit, sharing the stage with a number of great acts, and talk about some experiences. He also has a debut album called Lifting the Curse, and here's one of his tracks called The Earth is B Flat. We'll get a kick out of this one here. Talk more about that right now. Here's Darren Michael Boyd with The Earth is B Flat on the Mike Wagner Show. Okay, looks like we're having some technical difficulties with that one here. So anyway, let's talk more about some of the songs here. And Lifting the Curse, just tell us more about the album. What inspired you to write it?
That's a good question. It started off with one song where, after I had this car accident, kind of changed things for a little while for me. And I couldn't really do very much. I couldn't do like the kind of hard rock, heavy lifting type shows, So I was doing some acoustic things, and I was writing, and then I realized that some of the stuff I was writing was kind of odd and didn't really fit, and I wasn't sure what to do with it. So I had a song that's on this album, and it's called "This Song Won't Get Played on the Radio." And as you can kind of tell by the title, I was just sort of being goofy, and it sounds kind of like, I don't know, it sounds like a goth B-52s or something. There's a bit of weird surf stuff going on there. And so long story short, I basically decided I was going to release a single, which was that, and I was also going to simultaneously create a music video. And I had no idea how I was going to do it, so I had to figure it out as I went. And if you watch the video, you can tell it's totally irresponsible and silly, but it was a lot of fun. And my idea was nobody's going to listen to a 3-minute instrumental song that I post on social media, but they probably will watch the video. And turns out for the most part, I was right. People were watching the video because, I made sure that it wasn't just me for 3 minutes. I put a snake and a toad and a girl and, anything I could put in there that wasn't just me. And, and so as it got a pretty good response, and then I was just starting to have fun with it and kept going. I decided, you know what, I'm going to make an album of this, going to release it. And I actually couldn't have imagined that I would get the response that I have. A lot of people are really enjoying it and listening. So it's actually pretty exciting and unexpected.
Mm-hmm. And of course, in regards to that life-altering car accident, I don't know if you just want to just talk more about that, what exactly happened in the complications that followed too, and basically just what happened in the accident as well too that caused all to happen.
Well, it was basically just my cat just decided to open the door and walk in. All right, it was basically just a case of somebody running a red light into me, and so that's what happened. Kind of happens in a blink of an eye, and I hesitate to make it out to be too bad, because you don't have to look far to see people have it a lot worse. But the aftermath of it and dealing with the whole ongoing process of litigation and insurance, and then I was out of a job because of this. I couldn't. My job was driving for a living, and I couldn't really go back to driving when I couldn't turn my head for a few months and things like that. So it was really kind of a bummer for almost 3 years. And now I'm still dealing with some effects. I'm still kind of sore, and sometimes sleep is weird and things like that. But I'm happy to be here to complain about it. That's the main thing. And it could have been so much worse. And I think that sticks with you too, right? You consider what could have happened. And so when I am driving or I'm on the road now, I see things where I'm like, oh man, people just need to pay attention more and slow down. And, it doesn't take much. And even if you have an accident and you're fine, it's not as simple as, I've got an insurance so that people think they have this invisible force field around them or something. And it's like, no, it's pretty complicated.
Right.
So,
and of course, we're glad you're still with us as well, too. So we're going to try again with one of your tracks here. Here's Darren Michael Boyd on the Mike Wagner Show. There's Darren Michael Boyd with The Earth is B-Flat here on the Mike Wagner Show, and I still have to say that was a very original title, The Earth is B-Flat, and is it really flat?
And it's funny because I think there's only one B-flat chord in the whole song, which I made a point of putting in just to see if anybody would notice. Probably not, but...
That actually worked out beautiful as well, too. And where can we find your debut album, Lifting the Curse?
Well, digitally just about everywhere, but I mean, you can find the actual copy on my website, which is darrenboyd.com. You can find pretty much, if you want to find me anywhere on YouTube or something like that, if you go to my website, you can find links to everything, I think.
That is amazing, too. And also, what are your upcoming plans for 2020?
Oh, well, the one thing I can say immediately is that I am working on a new video, another music video to go along with this album, and I'm working on a new album. So I'm hoping that'll be a release in the fall. The video, I'm hoping the spring. I don't want to give exact dates because I'll probably be wrong. That's how it goes, right? But yeah, spring for the video and hopefully the fall for the new album.
That is great, too. And also, any upcoming plans for a tour in 2020?
Oh, I would love that. Still working on trying to put together a live band. It's a little bit tricky, because most of the guys I know who have expressed interest and have played with me before, everybody has their own projects going on, so it's a little bit difficult to really nail everything down. And I don't want to do kind of a slap together show either. I'd really rather do something really tight and special, theatrical, especially since it's really it's all instrumental, and so you want to do something entertaining.
Right. And that makes sense as well, too. And just a couple more, moments with Darren Michael Boyd, guitarist, songwriter, musician from Ottawa and Toronto on the Mike Wagner Show. He's been fantastic, and looking forward to having him again soon. Just a couple more things. Who do you consider your biggest influence in your career, Darren?
Oh, I'd say long term would probably have to be Alice Cooper.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, just when you consider the career, so many great songs, always plays with fantastic musicians. The show's great. And, and he's a gentleman off stage and a monster on stage. All right. And I think that's pretty cool. You don't have to have a miserable life. And it's true. A lot of artists get caught up in that. Right. And I've always respected Alice Cooper for being a real person. I mean, he went through a period where he wasn't. He didn't know who was Alice and who he was. But he came out of it on the other side, and that's really awesome.
Oh, that is amazing as well, too. And what's the best advice you can give to anybody at this point?
To musicians, you mean?
Yes, or anything.
Oh yeah. The best advice, don't take advice from me. No, I would say, yeah, I think for artists and musicians, there's so many things, but I guess to quickly say, I think there are a lot of great videos and podcasts and stuff. There are a lot of people on YouTube doing videos about the music business and stuff, and also how to play music too. And I think you can take a lot of information from that. There are scammers too, so watch out for that. And I would say just, kind of, use your head, I guess, when somebody starts asking you for a pile of money, or, this deal won't last. You don't have to pay this right now and it'll change your career. Just take a breath and wait, and don't believe everything you see on social media. Just work on real numbers, real fans. Like the social media hustle culture, I think, is overrated. That's my advice.
And I think that's a really good advice as well, too. Darren, just wants to say a big thank you for your time. You've been fantastic. Looking forward to having you again soon. And once again, Darren Michael Boyd out of Canada with his debut album, Lifting the Curse. And before we go here, tell us about your upcoming projects, what's your website, how do people contact you, and where can people purchase or listen to your music?
Okay, so I always say DarrenBoyd.com is the best place to find everything about me. All the links to my YouTube channel and Instagram and wherever you want to find me, that's the best way to go about. Or if you just search up Darren Michael Boyd, you'll find me, of course. And yeah, new album hopefully coming out in the fall. Watch for a new video coming in the spring. That should be pretty exciting. Equally as goofy as the other videos, I'm sure. So hopefully you're entertained by my $9 videos. They're a lot of fun to do and also very creative. So I quite enjoy that process as well.
Sounds great, Darren. Looking forward to what you got. Darren, a big thank you for your time. You've been fantastic. Looking forward to having you again soon.
Thank you.
Do us a favor, keep us up to date. We love to have you back on again soon. You've been fantastic.
Excellent. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it.
Thanks for listening to The Mike Wagner Show, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. The Mike Wagner Show can be heard on Spreaker, Spotify, iHeartRadio, iTunes, YouTube, Anchor FM, Radio Public, and themikewagnershow.com. Please support our program with your donations at themikewagnershow.com. Join us again next time for another great episode of The Mike Wagner Show.